All right, shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakwakadash.
A double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, that's out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity. This is Ainat Yahweh with the blood of truth.
And this is Rob with GMS Excavation.
All right, so, we just basically watched the movie Just Mercy with Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan. It just, as we seen it, we constantly reminded of, Esau's perpetual hatred towards the nation of Israel, and it just speaks volumes of what type of person Esau is, especially towards you tribes. Um, you know, they never care, they will never care, and they will continue to use the law and the law of justice to persecute the poor, man, because automatically, because you poor and you're automatically a criminal in the eyes of Esau, the so-called white man.
Because you don't fit in with their society.
Right.
Their society was created for them and not for anyone else. Like I was talking to a brother earlier this week about redlining, and it's deeper than it goes deeper than what we see with our eyes. There's a spiritual force field and a spiritual block that Esau puts up. Because just like they don't want us to survive in society like at all. There's a reason why we don't get the loans for businesses and houses in their neighborhoods, and the reason why we can get loans for having businesses in the slums. There's a reason why they're not in trouble as other men and go to jail for the same rate that we go to jail. Because this is their society and they've created it to be such. So any chance they can get to keep another nation down and to raise their nation up, they're going to take it.
Yeah, and of course it stems from perpetual hatred, which goes all the way back to the inception of the nation of Israel and the nation of Esau. Jacob being the forefather of the nation of Israel, and Esau being the forefather of the nation of Edom. Okay, so this is Ezekiel 35:5, and it says, okay, I'll read it. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
We're perpetual, I believe it goes back to eternal, right?
Everlasting.
Everlasting. So going back to Genesis, like the brother said, I shall slay my brother Jacob. And that's all that they're focused on. When you watch the movie Just Mercy, that's all they're focused on was putting Jake to death. Doesn't matter what for, doesn't matter if he did it or not. They were just doing it because they had that hatred,
Yep. This is Genesis 27:41, and it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Mm-hmm.
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Because Esau looks at himself as a victim now.
Right.
He looks at himself as an eternal, everlasting victim of his blessing being supplanted from him, but not even remembering the fact that he didn't want the blessing at all to begin with.
Exactly.
So what Esau does is he'll create a crisis, and then he'll play the victim, which is what he's doing now, especially with now we have social media and the internet now. Now it's white lives matter. Now it's reverse racism.
Right.
Now he's the victim when he's created this systematic oppression that he's been bearing down on us for the last 300 years.
Yeah. And it's grievous. It's the tender mercies of the devil, which is always grievous.
Yep.
I think the scriptures say that his ways are always grievous. If you want to do a word search on that, but I'm gonna get Genesis 3:15 because the book has always been about Jacob and Esau. It's been the main two characters, and it's going to end with Jacob and Esau at war, basically. Obviously, Esau is, turn a blind eye towards, helping his paternal brother out, and he's at war with not just you tribes, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, but he's at war with the Most High Yahweh. Okay? And this is Genesis 3 and 15. It says, and I will put enmity, meaning hatred, between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. All right? And see, perpetually, this is the mystery, you know, that the seed of the serpent and the seed of that woman, which, you know, Eve was the mother of all, but it's pertaining to Jacob, the seed of Jacob and the seed of the serpent seed, well, the seed of the chosen and the seed of the wicked, you know, was always at war since the beginning of time, you know. And so, and that's what we see, the culmination, and that hatred still brewing, you know, in these times, you know. So I'll go back to Ezekiel 35 unless you want to say something.
I got a quick scripture.
Okay.
This is a scripture you want to this is Psalms 10 and 4. It says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High.
Right. So they use the Bible as a ploy to validate themselves, but all in all, they used it to get over. You know, they used it to manipulate, to exploit. You know, they use the scriptures to exploit. Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation of men? You know, in Psalms it says that as well. And they didn't use the Bible and you know, speak and use the merits, or use the you know, the Bible as to do good. They used it to do evil. All right.
It says, it's like it. It says, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
Nope.
His ways are always grievous.
Right. His ways are always grievous, man. You know, which shows you they'll give us what mandatory maximums, and, you know,
mandatory minimums, and the minimums be as much as maximums.
Yeah.
You know, for their kind.
Right.
You know, like an Edomite, I have a minimum sentence of, let's say, you know, a year and a half, but the max will be 5. But our mandatory minimum will be 5.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, so, I mean, of course, you know, and it has everything to do with that hatred, that covetousness, that envy, that perpetual hatred, you know.
It says, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Yeah.
He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I will never be in adversity.
Yeah, I mean, I think puffeth mean to, like, blow, but, like, to do it with evil intent or something like that.
1 second.
Okay. Just bear with us for a second.
Psalm 10 and 5. And it comes from the Hebrew pawak, which means, like you said, to breathe, blow, to breathe, to cause, to excel, to puff, snort, to excite, inflame.
Yeah, to inflame. So we'll use that one, you know. And
to fire, to scoff.
See.
To bring into a snare.
Yep. So they puff at that. So they bring us into a snare. So anybody that's not for their agenda or not with them, they trying to bring into a snare, you know, which they use the law of justice, as Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter explains. They use the law of justice to justify doing wickedly. Well, scriptures frameth mischief by law, you know. So they use their law and frame as mischief, and this has been happening for the last few hundred years. We're just talking on this age. We ain't even talking about the prior times throughout antiquity where they turned on us and was there to help the nations take us down. You know, they in this age they have they sought to destroy us, man. They lied. They continue to lie on us. The accuser of thy brethren. You know.
Yeah, because in the movie, you know, they would round Jake up just for a so-called white man just saying that he did a crime, you know, and the judge and the prosecutors say, oh yeah, he just looks like he's guilty from the way, you know, he looks in his mugshot, you know, and just throw him right on death row. And what they would do is they would they would sow the legal paperwork and so much legal jargon that the appeals just kept getting denied. You know,
Even though they had no evidence, they did it out of malicious intent. They had no evidence. And they continue to have no evidence. You know, even to this day, they still accuse us till this day. You know, and so nothing's changed. And this is just a perpetual thing. You know, which we just, you know, explaining. You know,
it says, for his mouth is full of cursing and deceit,
yeah,
and fraud.
Yeah, cursing, deceit, and fraud. All right, and you can tell by their history that's who they are, man. It's speaking right to the wicked, man. You know, the ones that's in power.
It says, under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Yeah.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
See, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. And what was he doing? Not just in this movie, but throughout their history, man. All right, they've been marking our steps, setting up snares and traps, so they can go after the innocent.
Yeah.
But if they think for 1 second that the Most High doesn't see this, they're out of their mind, man. You know, as the scriptures say, they fear the eyes of men, not knowing that the eyes of the Most High is 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man. You know, so the Lord is beholding everything that they've been doing, and their intentions behind what they're doing, because the Lord said He tried the reins.
Yeah.
So He's looked in deep inside their thoughts and their feelings, and He's going to judge them based on their actions, man. You know,
It says his eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
right?
He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
Yeah. And that net is what, man? You know, of course, this system, yeah, this whole system is that net. You know, their whole establishment is that net. You know, that's why they talk about this being the land, not the land of the free or the free world, but they have the most incarcerated citizens on the planet.
Yep.
You know, so it's hypocrisy everywhere you turn in America. It's a bunch of full of lies, robberies, and deceit, as the scriptures say.
Yeah.
You know,
It says, he croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. And that's where the lies come in. You
Right.
know.
it's like I should have had them fall on the lawn. But
Yeah, that's where the lies come in, man. The lies come in, you know, when you go speak to your lawyer and he tells you, oh, you know, if you just take this plea deal, we're gonna give you, the most minimum time, but don't tell you that minimum time that he's saying is the maximum. You know,
right,
that minimum time he's saying is what, 7 to 10 years. That's the maximum that they're trying to give you.
right,
You know, and they can legally lie to you, which doesn't even make any sense. How can you legally lie to somebody?
right. They still do that to this day. Cop pull you over, they can legally lie to you. They can lie to you.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know, it just shows you what lengths Esau is willing to go to, and what type of person he is. They're not about truth. The scriptures say
And a refuge is lies.
Yeah, yeah, true. And it says though he is upright, well, his spirit is not upright in him. You know, so though they exalt themselves as the top people in the earth and the most judicial people in the earth, but their soul isn't right up in them, man. You know, they are wicked as all hell, man. And it proved, their track record continuously proves, but the Lord is uncovering their skirts. You know,
It says, he hath said in his heart, the Most High hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it.
see, and that's why they've gone. You know, what is that? Ecclesiastes 11:8 or 8:11.
8:11 though, the judgments are executed speedily.
Yeah,
Their hand is fully setting them to do evil.
right. So they're fully setting to do evil because they think the Most High has forgotten. And in another scripture say the Most High said that they all together thought I was like one like them.
Yeah, kind.
You know, but the Most High ain't like that. You know.
Yeah.
What you're doing is you're persecuting the apple of the Lord's eye, man. You know, his cherished people, his beloved ones. All right.
That was it.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back to Ezekiel 35 and finish that, and then you can just grab whatever's left on that list. Ezekiel 35 and 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord, power, Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You know? So because you haven't hated blood and abstained from blood, all right, the Lord is going to pursue your blood. Okay, so you're going to have to pay. And the scriptures tell you that. All right. Verse 7, thus will I make Mount Seir desolate and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth.
See, that's the end result that Esau isn't looking towards. You know, they think because their inward thought is that their house shall continue forever. So they don't think that they're not understanding that they're gonna have a repercussion behind this. You know, they think they're gonna just keep doing this shit forever. The Lord ain't gonna let you destroy his people forever, man. You know, scriptures say that Jacob is not consumed.
I was just about to get that.
There's no way in hell that the Lord is gonna sit back and watch his people get slaughtered every damn day, you know, until the end of time. That just doesn't make any sense. You know, and like Esau likes to say, he likes to say karma or you know, reserved energy and kinetic energy, and for every action there's a reaction. Well, there's that, but he only says that when he doesn't get the reaction. You know, he only says things like that when there is no karma coming back to him, or there's nothing bad happening to him in return for the bad that he's put into the world. You know, that's why.
Let's record. Okay, so Lockie, we got cut offs, but we back.
Yeah. So like I was saying, when it comes down to Esau to be a man about what he did and what, you know, what type of havoc he's caused, and to you know, give some type of reparation or some type of, you know, apology, or to make things better, he becomes the victim, you know, right. And that's narcissistic.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the worst way to do things. In fact, that's why they're going to be cut off as a nation. Yeah. That in the future world to come, they won't even exist as a nation of people, just like we don't exist now, because the scriptures talk about us the Lord rendering unto them double, you know, for their trespasses against the Most High, you know, not just against us, but the Most High, you know. Yeah.
This is Sirach. I don't know why I got Sirach on my brain. It's a Psalm 37:28. It says, "For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off." So yeah, like I was saying earlier, you know, there's no way that the Lord is going to, you know, let Jacob be destroyed, man.
Right.
You know, so instead of Jacob being destroyed, Esau is going to be destroyed and cut off, and Jacob is going to be preserved, man. You know, because you still have that 1/3 that has to come through the fire.
That's right.
You know, to bring back our rest of our nation, the kingdom of heaven. You know, so 2/3 of Israel, you know, they're giving up. They're just thrown away. But the third of Israel is going to make it through, man, and is going to be able to see the great destruction of Mount Seir and Idumea.
I got real quick, Malachi 3:6. It's for I am the Lord Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. All right, so we're not consumed because the Most High didn't change who He has chosen. Okay, which are you tribes? All right, what you got on that list, Slocky? I get James 2:13.
Okay, I get Isaiah 33.
All right, this is James 2:13, and it says, "For he shall have judgment." Let me see. Yeah, I'll just hit the point. This is James 2:13. It says, it's like it says, "For he shall have judgment without mercy, that hath shewed no mercy, and mercy rejoices against judgment." All right, so there's not going to be mercy for Esau because they didn't shew any mercy. Just plain and simple as that, you know. What you got?
It's Isaiah 33:1. It says, "Woe to them that go." I'm slacking. "Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee."
Right. We never dealt treacherously with you so-called white people, but you dealt treacherously with us. You spoiled us. All right. Go ahead.
It says, "When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled."
See, when you end at your terribleness, all right, and when you want to make amends, but you're not making amends, right? That's when you're gonna be spoiled. All right, go ahead.
"And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee."
Yeah. So the Lord is gonna deal treacherously with you, man. You know.
"O Lord, be gracious unto us.
See?
We have waited for thee."
Yep, and we waiting right now. Okay, that's why we're waiting on the Lord. Blessed is them that wait upon the Lord. Okay.
"Be thou their arm every morning, our salvation, also in the time of trouble."
Right, which is coming. Okay, because Esau is not done yet. All right, you Jakes are at imminent danger, man.
Yeah.
You know, imminent destruction. Okay, because they're trying to really kill you off and trying to get rid of the name of Israel from out of the earth. All right. We got Ezekiel 30, Psalms 37:28, and then I'll get Obadiah 1 and 10. We
Yep,
can
I
end
read
on
that
that.
earlier.
Obadiah 1 and 10?
The Psalm.
Oh, Psalm, yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Oh, you did? Okay. So I'll just read this one and get, if you can, render unto them double, since we mentioned it. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verses 10. All right. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." All right. And that's plain and simple, straight to the point. For the violence that you've done to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, shame is going to cover you. All right. And you're going to complain of an ungodly father. Okay. All right. And you're going to, and your reward for dealing treacherously and being terrible in the earth is, your reward is going to be, you're going to get cut off from the future world to come.
Yep.
You know. And that's a very scary thing. That's a very frightful thing. You can go ahead.
This is Psalm 67. Isaiah 61. Isaiah 61 and 7. "For your shame ye shall have double."
Ooh, for our shame. Was it 61 and what?
61 7. It says,
Come.
"For your shame ye shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion.
Uh-oh.
Therefore in their land shall they possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them."
See, we're gonna have everlasting joy, and you're gonna have double the shame, okay? Because you dealt treacherously, and you thought that nobody would, recompense the evil that you've done to us. You know.
It says, "For I the Lord love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offering, and I will direct their work in truth,
Uh-oh.
and I will make an everlasting covenant with them."
Yeah.
So the Lord is going to bring us back to our former glory, man. So with all this shame and all this hell and crying and this destruction that we're going through now, it's going to be turned around swiftly.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to wait upon the Lord. So Esau wants to wonder why. Really, when you think about it, Esau's really wondering why haven't these niggas revolted against me yet? All the information that I'm bringing out, and they're thinking that, oh, what we've done to them is just made them that afraid of us. No, that's not the case. The Lord is holding back the spirit, man.
Yep.
He's holding back the spirit until a time appointed, and when that time is appointed, Esau, you're going to get your just due, man.
Hell yeah, man. So, yeah, that concludes the lesson, man. And through the spirit, it was something I had to put together, from watching that movie Just Mercy. Highly recommend that you watch it. There's nothing different from what we haven't already seen. But, just to keep you updated and, keep you in the loop.
It's just more information on what they've done to us, man.
Yeah.
Because 1987 to 1991, 1987 1993 is not that long ago.
Yeah, damn. Yeah. And it seemed like the setting was even further back, but it's in the South, so that's why I feel like it give you that old feeling like it was like the 1920s or the 1930s.
Because the South
Even the
didn't
40s
catch
and
up yet,
50s. Right.
You know?
So
Because they were still impoverished from that war.
Right,
And
right.
all the money came up north. But when you look at it, I
the
was
developers
born in,
and all.
yeah, kind of. And when you look at it, I was born in '93, and you were born in what, '88.
Yeah, kind of.
So that was right around the time that that we were born into the world. That's not that long ago.
Yeah.
26 years is not that long.
Right.
You know.
And if they didn't bring reform and fight this thing, they would have been continuing doing evil.
Yeah.
To us, man. They
Yeah.
would have completely wiped us out.
Yeah.
But that's why the Lord said He didn't consume us, because He
Yeah.
put the Spirit on certain individuals to fight back and to raise up so they wouldn't consume us.
Just like in the
Otherwise,
time
we
of
would-
Judges.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
time
that's
of
true.
Judges when we were going off and being thrown into slavery into other nations, the Lord kept raising up judges to bring us out of the situation.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a good point.
So the Lord is always going to save Israel. So I don't know what Esau thought.
Yeah, this
I
time
don't know
around.
what Esau thought, but
Yeah, you know, they're planning the most sinister thing in the world right now. They want to kill off the majority of the population of the earth, mainly you tribes, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God.
You know, and their wars against the poor, their wars against the Most High Yahweh. But like the brother said, they've been sadly mistaken, because this war ain't gonna end well for them. You know, it's well with us because ultimately we know at the end, you know, hey, but we know at the end we're gonna win.
God.
You know, regardless of what they do to us. You know, that's when the Most High is gonna step in. Daniel 12:1.
That's right.
And with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. A double honors to the apostles and elders. Salutations to Akim that's out there doing the work of truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.